Right, yeah, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is probably going to be one of the most important videos I've done. The most important video I did prior to this was remote sign-on, I'd say, which was a couple of years back. In the post, you are going to get ballot papers as Unite members and as Unite bus driver members. In fact, all Unite members across the London Eastern region, whether they're working for the NHS, or they're working in the construction trade, or they're working down at Heathrow, you're all going to get ballot papers. Now, these ballot papers are for the elections of the National Executive Council. Now, you're probably thinking, what's that? Is that important? It is extremely important. We want the right people on that council. At the moment, we've got people from what I call the old guard, the old system. You know, Unite 3 or 4 years ago, with all the people that were running the show when it wasn't a member-led union, they're the people that are there at the moment. We need to turn that around. We need to change that, because let's be honest, people. Do you want a union that listens to you? Do you want a union that will do everything possible to fight for better terms, conditions and pay? Do you want a union that is going to fight and have an easier time of it, like your reps, you know, and your conveners and that, when they're trying to get you a single pay rate across London? Do you want them to be able to do it without obstacles in the way, i.e. the old guard, the old system that's like, no, we don't want to do that, we don't want to rock the boat, right? You don't want that, do you? You want to be able to achieve the best that we can get for London bus drivers. We want better pay, we want better terms and conditions, we want to address fatigue, we want to get rid of remote sign-on, and eventually we want a single pay rate across the board for London bus drivers that pays a wage that we can live on without having to work 7 days a week. My vision there is very simple. I still believe that one day we will achieve 48k per year, per annum, on a 4-day working week. I'm not saying we're going to achieve that this year or next year, but that's what I would love for us to achieve. We would address fatigue, the wage problem, everything else. The only people that should be on less money, in my opinion, are the very, very new drivers. For 6 months should be on, what, 36, 38k, going up to 48k once they pass their probation period, okay? These are, at the moment, just dreams, but they can become a reality, and they'll become a reality with the right people in the right place. And we have to start with the reps, the right conveners, and also the right people on the National Executive Council. This is your chance, people. This is your chance to have your say, to make change happen. We've talked about making change happen. We've said change needs to happen. We've talked about how things need to improve. This is really, and I mean really, your chance to really have your say and make that change happen, okay? Because if you vote the right people on that council, I promise you, these people will fight tooth and nail for you, okay? They're good people, they're committed, they believe in Sharon, they believe in the change, and most of all, they're passionate about what they want to do, okay? I'm going to start with the candidates now, so I'm going to read them out to you, okay? Remember, it was only 18 months ago that Sharon Graham got elected, okay? She's done an awful lot in that 18 months, and she's shown her support towards bus drivers, but we need to now vote the right people onto that council so that she can deliver even more for us, and so the Executive Council, National Executive Council, can deliver even more for us, okay? Because that's what we need. It's all about us. We're the workers. We pay our union subs, okay? We are prepared to support our union in every way possible by going to branch meetings, being on the picket line if need be, and generally supporting our reps and standing by them. That's what we are going to do, and that's what we need to do. But we also need to vote on this National Executive Council. Honestly, I can't emphasise how important this is, that you vote. When that voting form comes through, you've got to fill it out and send it back. No ifs, buts or maybes. Right? It has to be done. This is so important to really finalise the change that's needed within London, okay? So we're going to start off. Dan Collins, right? He's been blacklisted from the construction sector. So he's already been a pain in the arse as a union guy, because they won't let him near the construction sector. He will always stand by his members. and he's proved that by getting blacklisted from the construction sector. And he will all stand by his principles. Again, he's proved that. He's a solid candidate, and you need to be looking at him. So that's Dan Collins, right? That's the guy you need to be voting for. And one of our very own, Jane Maguire, lovely lady, know her very, very well. She's been a bus driver for 26 years, right? And she's now at Abellio. She's really keen to improve our terms and conditions and our pay. She's really keen to make life in general better for bus drivers and to push through the things that need to be pushed through. She needs to be on that National Executive Council. So that's Jane Maguire. So we've got Dan Collins and Jane Maguire, the two people there you need to vote for. Then we've got David Augerbley, right? Okay, if I haven't quite pronounced that right, I do apologise, David. He's an NHS man. But again, he's very, 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 very keen to implement Sharon's vision of change for everyone, all right? He's passionate about Sharon. He's passionate about doing what's needed to be done for the workers and the Unite members of London, okay? So we need to be voting for David Augerbley, okay? That's Agbley, David Augerbley, right? We also need to be voting for Richard Alday. This guy has been a branch secretary for 10 years. He is absolutely brilliant at his job. He's very passionate, again, very committed to the cause, very committed to Sharon, and very committed to his members and to us, okay? Those are the four people you need to vote for, okay? If you want to achieve everything that we want to achieve, if you want pay parity somewhere in the region of what the London Tube drivers get, if you want TfL to stand up and listen to you, if you want the operators to stand up and listen to you, you must have the right people in the right place, okay? And on the National Executive Council, we need Dan Collins, we need Jane Maguire, we need David Augerbley, and we need Richard Allen, okay? Richard Alday. We must vote for these people, all right, people? I can't emphasise it. If you don't, you're only condemning yourselves to go back to the old system of 1% pay rises here and there every 2 years. If you want the momentum to keep going, of double figure pay rises, of better terms and conditions, of a pay rise every single year, if you want fatigue addressed, if you want remote sign-on shelved, these people you've got to vote for. You need to stand your ground and vote for these people. When those ballot papers come through your front door, don't sit there and think I'll do it later. Don't put it to one side. Open it up. They're the four names: Dan Collins, Jane Maguire, David Augerbley and Richard Alday. They're the four names you need to be ticking as your candidates that you want elected. If we can get at least 10,000 bus drivers to send their ballot papers back, that's 10,000 votes. People, this is your chance. This is your chance to make a difference. Get out there, vote the right people in.